like a border town, in my opinion. I've lived here my entire life. We used to have a shrimping industry. It used to be a beautiful place to live in. We ran the shrimping industry off so we could get yachts down here, which never happened. We do not allow small businesses to grow, and if we do, we make it extremely hard for them to build up upon. I'll give you an example. We said we get charged almost $800 to put in a knock box on facilities, and the rule for that is it has to be new construction or they have to have a sprinkler system. But the city decided to make everybody do it. So they're charging everybody $800 to put a knock box, which is the key to your building, to every single small business in town. So $800 is 1 month's worth of rent to that small business, so they cannot grow. We need to follow the rules and the way the rules are written and quit making stuff up and let our community grow.
Okay, thank you very much for your response. All right. Second question, begin with Mr. Followell. Would you reduce or increase the size of municipal government? And if so, why? What services would you keep or get rid of? And explain your strategy for making the city administration more user-friendly. You have 2 minutes.
Sure. Our forefathers built this country to have small government, not large government. Our government needs to be smaller. The government needs to be ran by our people. For example, we have a council, we have a manager, we have a mayor. The mayor and council should be auditing the manager and the manager's peers for compliance. That does not happen. Who audits the council? Should be you. Is there a committee out there that audits the council for what they do and what they do right, wrong, or their integrity? No. Do you know why? Because they don't want it. They don't want you to have a voice. They don't want you to have an opinion. They want to run the city the way they see felt, and that's not right. It is small government, and the people have the power, and we need to bring that back. Thank you.
Okay, Mayor, you have 1 minute to respond.
Well, to that,
Would you like me to repeat the question?
no, just repeat the question.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So the question is, would you reduce or increase the size of municipal government? And if so, why? What services would you keep or get rid of? And explain your strategy for making the city administration more user-friendly.
Well, actually, right now, the city is running pretty lean,
More user-friendly.
between public works, between city staff. I wouldn't recommend the downsize of any of that. If anything, we just need to make it real permit-friendly, developer to come into town and be able to get a bunch of rooftops to be able to get more money coming into the city.
All right. Next question. We will pose to the mayor first. Many would argue Con Brown Harbor is a hidden gem as a city asset, but there's been minimal development in the area and few economic drivers to attract the public or private business to invest there. What is your strategy and vision to develop Con Brown Harbor as a world-class destination? You have 2 minutes.
Well, right now, Conference Harbor has been cleaned up fairly well. A new street with a bike trail has been installed. Bulkhead repairs have been done. The Compound Harbor has completely been surveyed, so well, now we know exactly what we have there at the harbor. And we're trying to figure out a way on how to be able to extend and be able to have a higher lease so people can come in and develop the harbor without feeling that they're gonna spend millions of dollars and they will never own it because it's leased. So there's different ways of being able to develop Compound Harbor, which is either the city goes ahead and flats the whole harbor out and starts leasing sections at a time, or put it back to the voters and see if you can sell the harbor and sell one spot at a time, have a big master plan on how you actually want the harbor to look. Because ultimately, it's the citizens that own the harbor. You know, you can, I mean, that's what it was given, you know, to all the citizens. So that's why we're in the process of trying to figure out how to be able to do a 99-year lease versus just a 39-year lease. And that's the best way to kind of, I mean, to be able to develop it, because it's kind of hard for somebody to come and spend $15, $20, $25 million on a restaurant or whatever it is, a hotel, motel, whatever you want to put out there, and then you never own it and you can only lease it for 39 years, it doesn't really make sense to a businessman. So it's different ways of looking at it, and hopefully we'll come up with a good solution on how to be able to develop that harbor.
Mr. Fowler, your opportunity to respond.
Sure. Leases don't work. So right now, we have people out there that are leasing right now and paying about $27,000 every 6 months. I don't know any small business owner that could move out there for that kind of money. With that said, this individual's got a 15-year lease and he hates it, doesn't like the 15-year lease. I understand why. I know they project them at 40-year leases, but still, you're not owning the property. Nobody's gonna come out here and spend multi-million dollars to not have a property and can get kicked off for any reason, especially the way the council's run now. They can kick you out of town for any reason, right? So I gave y'all little things to say thumbs up, thumbs down. The reason I gave them to you is because it should be your voice. So how many of you guys believe we should lease out property at the harbor? Raise them up, let me see. Just a couple. How many of you think we should sell property at Compound Harbor? Now, with that said, before you raise, sell property but have restrictions, meaning that it's still public. I don't want to see any gates come up. I don't want to see the community where they can't come out there. It's open to us. Raise it. That's what I thought. Right? And then we still make money that way, so I agree with you guys. But you need a voice again, and that's why I'm here. It should be you guys telling me what to do, not the other way around. Thank you.
Now, we move to the first segment where each candidate will have an opportunity to ask each other a question. Mr. Followill, we begin with your question to Mayor Gomez.
Okay, my first question is about Roxanne, our city attorney. She cost us $1.8 million in an annexation debacle. I would like to know why you and council, particularly you yourself, did not fire this individual. And I know you own a business, sir, so I'm sure you fired people for a lot less than $1.8 million. Why is the city attorney still here?
Actually, yes, I want to say that that's pretty close number to what it actually ended up costing. But the true fact was that we were out there doing the annexation to be able to keep Corpus Christi from doing the annexation themselves, to come all the way across and create that little corridor that they wanted to build and go all the way across. But the simple reason that we did not win that battle is because they had deeper pockets than we did, and Aransas County actually wanted the industry and we didn't. And we pretty much wanted to keep this town as a tourist town, to keep our base nice and clean and safe for people to come in here and go fishing and enjoy here in Aransas Pass. That's the reason why we did the annexation, and it wasn't so much that she failed as far as the process that she did. It was just the fact that Aransas County was adamant, and we just couldn't beat them at it. They had deeper pockets, but that's pretty much what happened there, because we didn't want industry and they did.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Followill, you have 1 minute for rebuttal.
I'd just like him to answer my question. Pretty simple. Why wasn't she fired? Not about what happened, just why wasn't she fired? If I had an employee that cost me $500, they would be fired. This individual cost us citizens $1.8 million, and she's still there.
Thank you. Mayor Gomez, you.
A fire safety inspection. And that's the bottom line. That's a simple reason. I don't know what makes it right that we don't follow the ordinance. We just don't. And that's when we all became criminals. That's when you became interested. Or what is the reason behind it? I mean, what is actually that made me become a criminal? Is what I'd like to know.
Sure. Can I answer?
Yes, sir.
Sure. You were a criminal because you got pulled over for weed. That's your criminal record. I do not have a criminal record, sir, so please do not call me a criminal. You are, not me. With that said, my code violations were thrown out the first time I won in court because I was correct. Y'all have postponed my court date for almost a year now because you're terrified of me beating you. You're waiting until after the election to bring you to court. Actually, the week of the election is when you're sending me to court to fight about it. Y'all postponed it almost a year on purpose. It's tactical. I have no code violations. As a matter of fact, I met with your prosecutor already. He already threw 5 of them out. He was just like, can y'all really cite me on this? He made fun of your sandbags. He made fun of your button. Like, you can have a button to exit a door, like a handicap button. He made fun of your fire chief for doing that. They're gonna get thrown out and y'all are gonna lose. I'm not the criminal, sir. You are. I have no record. You remember that.
Mayor, you have an opportunity for rebuttal.
What's that?
You can rebut.
Okay. Sure enough, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever lies you want.
That's
For
true.
me personally, I'm really not a criminal. I don't have a criminal record.
You do. I don't know.
So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
It is. for
Because
sure.
that's when we literally became criminals, is whenever they did that fire and safety inspection in your place. That's all. That's when it all began. That's when you started having issues, because you just didn't want to follow the city ordinance.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Powell, you have a chance for the last question
Oh,
of the segment.
sure, I wasn't gonna pick on you for this, but now I am because you're trying to throw me on the bus for actions you did. You actually had an executive session the day before my raid on my gym. You had an executive session with council about my gym. Why on earth would you have an executive session about a code violation for a business, for one? Two, I asked you numerous times to help me with the Fourth Amendment rights, as blatant Fourth Amendment rights from your fire department and your police department. You did not respond to me, not once. When I go back to transparency, that is what I meant. I had several people from the audience even, and people in this town, email y'all and write y'all and ask for help. You gave no help because you were not transparent and you were liars. You do have a criminal record, and anybody can pull that criminal record up. He got busted for marijuana. If you'd like to do a hair follicle, me and you can go today, I'm down for it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mayor Gomez, your opportunity to respond. All right, did you have any rebuttal, Mr. Powell?
A rebuttal to my rebuttal? I mean, if he wants me to rebuttal to another rebuttal, I can. I mean, I'll do it. So code violation, let's speak of code violations in Mr. Criminal Ram Gomez. So 2015, 2016, you had, I don't remember the exact number, I don't have them in front of me, but I can pull them out to anybody that wants them. He had numerous serious and substantial citations. Remember, I deal with health, safety, and environmental, which means that he could have got somebody hurt and killed for entrapment and fire issues in his bakery. With that said, guess what? Never went to court, never fixed them. 7 years later, when I came around, I investigated and found him. What happened? 8 months of me griping, he was forced by the city to fix his citations. His violations, I'm sorry, they didn't write him citations because he's above the law. Me, I get written citations. He was just allowed to fix them 7 years later. With that said, if you follow the law, he should have been charged every single day from the day that they found them until he fixed them, and they did not. I don't know about you, sir, but that's a lot of money. I don't know if it's $1.8 million, but it's probably a couple of $100,000 you owe the city. Thank you.
All right.
Is there something over there?
Sure.
Okay, now let's talk about inspections. Okay, the inspections started back in 2016. That's when we got the new fire chief by the name of Cox. He's the one that started those fire inspections. I have owned that business for over 18 years, but it was 18 years, it's coming next month. But we had never had any fire safety inspections, so he came in and he started doing those fire inspections. I have ended up already spending money on all the violations or whatever he called them, that safety issues. I have spent over $12,000 repairing from the front door, to change the swing at the front door, to the back door, to exit signs, to putting up a whole bunch of stuff, to remove extension cords. I have done everything. Yes, I will admit, there was one that I missed, and that was a panel that I had in the storage building in the back that I missed. The cover disappeared. And I'll admit, yes. And so when they came back and did the re-inspection, that's when they seen it, and I hadn't fixed it, and I got cited, and I paid my $379 for not fixing it, but it's already repaired, it's already fixed, and every single violation that I have gotten or whatever has been repaired. There's not a one out there that I have not repaired.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to move on to our next section of moderator
Am I allowed
questions.
to rebuttal to that rebuttal?
We're going to, okay, so, thank you. Question number 4 to the candidates. Explain how, if voted to serve office, you will work with your opponent to establish or restore a sense of unity to achieve the goals the public will have supported you to accomplish. Mayor Gomez, you may begin with your answer.
Very good.
Explain how, if voted to serve office, you will work with your opponent to establish or restore a sense of unity to achieve the goals the public will have supported you to accomplish.
Yes, we all have to work together. We all have to have an open mind, and we all have to put our opinions together and make it a good, nice working environment, have a good communication between everybody to be able to get things accomplished. You can have your idea, but somebody else might have a better idea, so you put your opinions together and come up with the best solution and work together for the betterment of the town.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Powell.
Maybe I misunderstood that question. That was what I worked with.
You want me to read it again? Yes, if you were elected, how would you work with him?
But okay. I would not work with Ram Gomez because I'll be replacing Ram Gomez, and he will no longer be there. I will be working for the citizens of this town. The citizens of this town will direct what I need to do and what the agenda needs to be done, and that's it, period. Whatever the city needs is what we need. It's not what council wants, it's what the city needs. With that said, stuff like building an RV park and rezoning an RV park for your own personal gain, Mr. Gomez, and then using our money to survey that is illegal. You are wasting our taxpayer money on your own RV park and your brother's RV park, and don't tell me no because I have the paperwork, sir. We citizens are tired of it, and we want our town back. Thank you.
All right, Mayor, you have an opportunity to rebut.
There goes another lie. I don't have no RV park or nothing like that.
I have,
But that's
but I want
okay. For y'all to know, we have workshops that we have, okay? And this is where the citizens have the opportunity to come up and come up with a suggestion, so we put it to the workshop, so we can listen to y'all's voice to see what y'all wanna do. We even have, nowadays, we even have a budget that's fixing to start here for the fiscal year of 23-24, okay? It starts October 1st. And there's 7 different meetings that we have budget workshops for y'all to come out and voice y'all's opinions on where y'all want us to spend the money. So we can all work together as a city with the citizens to be able to accomplish what y'all really want. So you come up with your ideas when the budget is open for the year. You come out to those budgets, and there's 7 different ones before we actually vote on the budget. And every one of y'all citizens have the opportunity to come up and voice your opinion. And you can also come up and voice your opinion to get on a workshop to discuss any items that y'all want here in the city. And we do listen to all the citizens of Aransas Pass and work towards to get one goal done, which is best for all the citizens of Aransas Pass.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, on to the next question. To Mr. Followell. Homelessness is an issue in Aransas Pass, but there are few, if any, substantive services to address their needs. What role should government play in assessing and responding to this issue? You have 2 minutes.
Panhandlers are protected by your constitutional rights. You have the right to panhandle. If you would like to take that right away from them, you're taking rights away from us. That is not right. I am pro-Constitution, and I understand that people might get upset with panhandlers, but they have a right to be a panhandler. With that said, let's go back to our police department. The panhandlers that throw trash on the ground, it is the police department and code enforcement's job to do something about that. They do not. What they do is say we can't do anything about it. Negative. They can't do anything about the panhandling. They can do stuff about the dogs being left out in the sunlight. They can do stuff about the trash being thrown on the floor. They can do stuff about jaywalking. They just can't mess with the panhandler's rights itself. So they can do something. When they put it out there, they can't. They can. They just refuse to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mayor?
Yeah, as far as the homeless, right?
Homelessness is an issue in Aransas Pass, but there are few, if any, substantive services to address their needs. What role should government play in assessing and responding to this issue?
Well, I've had a church from Ingleside approach me one day, and we've been trying to work with the different organizations to be able to come up with a solution to be able to house them. We have Calvary Baptist Church there that have some of them there. Sometimes they help them out. We have that other church right there on Greenwood in Saunders that does the same thing. But we were trying to put together was a way to be able to see if the city could put up a piece of land and just create a 501c3 to be able to come up with some funds to be able to put a building up there to be able to house those homeless and try to put them back together and get them going back in their life. And that's what we've been working at. It's just going to take a little while because of the funds.
Do you wish to rebut, Mr. Miller?
Sure. So I deal with cultures. I told you I deal with cultures and behavioral-based safety. That's what I deal with. So if you build a system, and you're building a system to house the homeless, once you build a system to house the homeless, what will happen? More homeless will come. If they have medical issues, we get them off the streets that way. But if we build somewhere for them to stay, you're going to bring more panhandlers here because now they have somewhere to house and feed them. I don't think that's a good idea. That's it.
Thank you. All right, next question to Mayor Gomez. Name the top 3 priorities, in your opinion, you would make the cornerstone of your tenure in office if elected, starting on day 1.
Well, first of all, is to go ahead and get the concession stand put back together at the Little League fields, work on Palm Brown Harbor. And one of the main items here is bring in development to come into town so we can have more money coming in, so we're able to lower the property taxes. And the other thing is that we're gonna start putting in the budget, or try to do street repairs within the city itself. We've done quite a bit of street repairs here in the city of Francis Pass, from the storm drain to the sewer system. We already bought, the next thing, which is very important, we bought a machine to be able to reline all the manholes throughout town, so we can keep the storm water from getting into our drainage system, so we won't be getting the bubble ups that we've been getting throughout town whenever it rains. You get some of the manholes that do bubble up, and that's from them never being repaired or any work being done to them. But right now, we spend quite a bit of money to get the reliner and teach our employees on how to start relining all our manholes. And that's very important, so we can keep our sewer system and the sewer lines, and not overwhelm them with rainwater when it comes in, because they keep going into the storm, to the sewer line.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Palma?
I'm gonna go back to transparency, and we do not have it. And I'll give you an example. When I first started going to council meetings, I asked politely for some assistance and help with what was going on with my business. I was never answered, and nobody talked to me about it and ignored me. I started digging into the system, meaning what's going on with the council and what they do and how they play their part. And I noted that Ram Gomez should have never been mayor. We have a nepotism clause. It's in our policy manual and on the paperwork that he signed. His brother, John Gomez, was already employed with the city, but you have to be employed for 2 years. John Gomez was not at his 2-year limit, which means nepotism. When I brought it up to city council, they put Roxanne on me and basically sent me a cease and desist. Cease and desist means I can't talk about it anymore because that's defamation of character. Guess who kept talking about it? Why did I keep talking about it? Because I tell you the truth. Guess who was stopped? Not me, because it's still nepotism 100%. If they could squelch my voice, they would have, and they could not. If you want the documents on that, I also have them and provide it to anybody here. With that said, transparency is what we need. Nobody is held accountable at council. There is no citizen committee, which is the first thing you need to make sure they are doing the right job. That there is integrity and honesty in council. We do not have that. There are no term limits. This man can stay mayor for 30 years. What does that tell you? Corruption. You have to have term limits. Without term limits, what happens? He stays in office. Our petition to remove council is 50% of your voters. Did you know that? Every other county in Texas is 10%. Why is ours so high? So they can stay in power. It's time to make a change, and I hope to see y'all out there voting May 6th. Thank you.
Mayor, you have an opportunity for rebuttal.
I didn't quite hear the first part of what you said, but as far as my brother working here, before I ran for mayor back in 2017, I made sure that we were not breaking any kind of laws if I got elected, because if he were to have to lose his job, I was not gonna run for mayor. But they went through all the paperwork from Alan Lawrence to the new city attorney that we have now, and there is no law has been broken. And as far as his certifications, he's very well qualified, very well qualified. He's a master electrician. He's got quite a bit of certifications as far as doing safety inspections for electrical and whatever else. So we are very transparent as a city. We've been the most transparent now than ever before.
May I?
Okay, we're going to move on because we still have more questions to go. So, Mr. Falwell, you are next. You have the opportunity to ask your next question to your...
Is this my final question?
Nope, there are more.
Okay, good. So nepotism is actually in charter's law. I would like to know why you're lying to the citizens. You can go, anybody here can go to city council, y'all can go to aptx.gov, and y'all can look up the city charter, and it says nepotism 100%. Once you invoke nepotism into charter, it is law. Look it up. I would like to know, Ram Gomez, why you just lied to everybody. If y'all don't believe me, look it up after, because he's gonna lie to you again. Go ahead, Ram.
No, sir, that's what I just finished saying about, that's what I just finished saying. All the laws got researched from the charter to the state law. It is the same thing of why you were allowed to run for mayor, is because the city and the county, you have to be a resident for a year but the state said only 6 months. So, there you go. So that's the reason, because you have your city charter, your city laws, but then you have the state laws that trump the city laws, the city charters, or whatever you like. So, and we've got real documentation of the real truth about what you're talking about.
Okay, Mr. Fowler, we have 60 seconds to